It's the day that's been on the mind of every EFL fan really since the end of last campaign, as it's the start of the new competitive season. And what a way to start with Derby Day, as up first it's Millwall who make the trip to W12. It's a competition that will always have a special place for Rangers with the triumph in 1967. But what is in store this time round? As the players have emerged from the tunnel, the handshakes taking place. And we'll take you through the team, starting off with Rangers, where Pierce Charles makes a competitive debut in goal. Captain Jimmy Dunn and Ronnie Edwards just ahead. A midfield three of Madsen, Vale and Cher. It'll be interesting to see if Burrell plays out wide with Paul Smith on the other flank and Kone up top, or whether it will be the 4-4-2. And then as we turn the attention to the visitors this afternoon, Millwall. In goal, Lucas Jensen starts. So back four, which includes Cooper and Taylor in the heart of it, Leonard and Sturge at fullback. Denor and Cunwell partner up in the middle. Negley's just behind the striker in Josh Coburn. Aziz and Metcalf are the two out wide. So the final preparations that prior to kick-off. What a way to start with the London derby. Millwall making the fairly short trip. It's just on the far side next to Julian Stefan. Initially is currently Andy Sinton, who will be making his way onto the pitch, because there will be a minute's silence prior to kick-off to remember Kenny Jackett, who is associated with both these clubs here. QPR's assistant manager between 2001 and 2004, assistant to Ian Holloway, and he also managed Millwall between 2007 and 2013, helping them to League One playoff promotion. So the players making their way to the centre circle then for a minute's silence. Associated with both clubs laying a wreath on the field. So despite the rivalries on the day, a moment where we all come together to remember Kenny Jackett. And it does mean, as the final team huddles take place prior to kickoff, you can also see my commentator, Mr. Andy Sinton, making his way up to the gantry now. It does look like Rangers will be getting us going from the kickoff to start this new season. Chair standing over the ball in the centre. And a line of Rangers players making their way on that far side, ready to dart into the Millwall half, and it looks like it's that kick-off approach we've seen a lot, particularly towards the end of last season, That long ball towards that far corner flag. Chet does drill it towards that corner flag. Rangers can then get up the field despite it being a Millwall throw. And just in time for a welcome for Andy Sinton to the gantry.
Yeah, lovely tribute to former coach Kenny Jackett. Great to have his family here today.
Charles Long kick forward. Harvey Vale got a touch in there, but one which is deemed a foul. So there will be a free kick here for the visitors within their own half. It's Jay Cooper standing over it, thinking perhaps about an early diagonal when instead he's played it short. Caleb Taylor now to this right side for Leonard. There's long ball upfield. Ronnie Edwards is favourite to it, pressured by Coburn. Edwards takes it down by his own corner flag. And left-footed long kick upfield. Good flick by Paul Smith, or a nice attempt at least. And Caleb picks it up though for Millwall, and back it goes towards Cooper. With the big switch now towards the Millwall left, and across came Mbenge, and that will be a Millwall throw. Very little sign of concern for Sturge, who just remained down. Is back up onto his feet now. He was just appealing something the way Mbenge came across. Referee disagrees. Well, actually, I'll tell you, Mbenge did go up, jump up almost with his studs showing quite high. Whether there was contact or not, that's what Sturge isn't too happy about. So we will continue with this Millwall throw, thrown towards the penalty area, and it looks like it's come up straight off Coburn and out for a Rangers goal kick.
Just looking at the Rangers sort of setup, I was a little bit intrigued. I thought Roman would have played up with Rich, but looks like Illy Chair's going to play in the, if you want to put a number on, and he wears it, the number 10 role. Roman a little bit further right, but will drift infield. And when he does, Amadou Mbenge will try and exploit that space.
So here's Jimmy Dunn now taking up towards the halfway line. Mbenge out to his right, first time into Harvey Vale. He looks forward for Roman Burrell. Cooper will be favourite to it. Burrell keeps on pressing and forces Cooper to kick it out for a Rangers throw high up in the Millwall half. Going towards Harvey Vale. Oh, great back heel on towards Mbenge. Mbenge with the ball in towards Chair, and his efforts was heading towards that far corner, took a deflection. It's gone behind for a first Rangers corner.
Well worked down that right-hand side. Working well, Amadou Mbenge. Ilias Chair's just loitering. 5 or 6 yards inside the box, comes to him. Millwall player gets a block. Does well. Closes down, just loops over for a corner.
Which can now be taken. Almost 4 minutes on the clock. And it goes towards that near post. Millwall will get the first contact away. It's going to come out to Mbenge. And he kept it down, but it went wide in the end on the half volley.
Yeah, it's always going to be a difficult task to get the strike away, a clean strike. His technique's not bad. Defender rushing towards him, putting him under pressure.
One ball forward from the visitors. In the header for Rangers. Now going to the halfway line. Nodded on by Vale towards Kone. Gets away from a couple of Millwall players. On he goes here, Richard Kone. Uses Roman Burrell to his right. He was a little bit wayward though with the pass, and Sturge looking to come away with it. Vale's touch, Kone then stretches and moves it across towards this left side, but it is Tommy Aziz who's able to get there for Millwall. Taken on Kemper, was able to take it off of Aziz before it did bounce back towards Leonard in the Millwall defence. Cooper's ball, and it was a little too powerful for Sturge, who can take it under control. Rangers stroke on that right side, right in front of the dugouts.
battles all over the field, as you would expect any game, any time of the season. Who comes out on top? I can pick 3 or 4 now. That's going to go a long way to deciding the outcome of today. Now the midfield will be one crucial area. Who gets on top of that? Who can dictate that? From our point of view, do we look after Coburn, who was a real handful here last season? Now with his physical presence, can Rich Coney get the better of Cooper and Taylor? Can we get Ilias Chair on the ball? Can we get our wide players going at the fullbacks? So there you go, I'm pretty much covered. And you flip that round to the opposition. Can Boy Kemper look after Aziz? Because he's a very good player.
He was top goal scorer last season with 11 in the Championship.
And can we deal with these? Because this is where they are strong. You know, Cooper will be the target. Probably a big diagonal, aiming for the Millwall skipper, number 5. There you go.
Here he goes from Sturge. It is just over Cooper. Kone gets the first header away. Millwall win that second ball. And the offside flag would have been up. It's in the gloves of Pierce Charles, so advantage played. So he rolls it out towards Nicholas Madsen. He moves it behind him now towards Ronnie Edwards. Charles. Looking for Roman Burrell. Burrell was found, is now on the ground. Referee says no foul. Millwall able to win it back. Madsen then back there for Rangers. He's found a good out ball towards Chair. Chair can drive forward, move it left towards Paul Smith. Cutting inside, he's taken down right on the edge of the area, right by the corner of it. That will be a Rangers free kick in a decent position.
Yeah, clear foul, work it well. Paul Smith coming back inside, just gets caught. By the fullback Leonard. There we see it. Now this is an interesting situation. Does Ilias with his right foot from this angle, does he test the keeper by striking it? Or does he flip it far post, or does he fizz it in that space between the 6-yard line, the apex and the back post? Or does Harvey Vale pull it away from the goalkeeper with his left foot? So a few possibilities. I'm going to say, and you're not going to ask me, I know what I'd be doing.
So it is sent in by Chair towards the back post, headed away by Cooper. Higley now trying to drive out for Millwall, being pressed by Roman Burrell. He's found a pass in towards Coburn. Millwall have done well under the pressure to keep the possession. Well, I say that until it's launched out towards this near side, and Chair's back there to see it out for what will be a Rangers throw on the halfway line on our left. It's taken back towards Ronnie Edwards. Now all the way back with Pierce Charles. Madsen moving it right on towards Jimmy Dunn. Turning it towards the Rangers number 1 here. This time he goes the other way, finding Ronnie Edwards. Looping it high over towards Jimmy Dunn. There's space here for the Rangers captain. He moves it into the centre. Harvey Vale let it run, and now he looks in behind, but went too heavy on the pass. And Benge not giving it up, but it has gone out of play and will be a goal kick.
Well, we worked that really well at the back. You know, with the 2 centre-backs split, the ball into Harvey Vale is excellent. His pass, forward pass, right intention. He just overhits it slightly. Rangers stepping onto Millwall.
United playing it up towards Aziz. Kemper sticking tight. Put a foot on Aziz, but it did bounce straight back towards Millwall again through Condell. This time plays it back behind him, and then Taylor all the way towards Jensen in goal. Lefty goes out towards Cooper, who will return it towards the Millwall goalkeeper. This time he's going to take a more direct approach. Edwards wins the header over Coburn, and then nodded back by Madsen towards Dunn.
Yeah, well done, Ronnie. It's one of those little intriguing battles that I talked about earlier on. I'm sure Coburn will try and get himself onto Ronnie as much as he can.
Here he is again on the ball, Ronnie Edwards. Moving it left on towards Boy Kemper. Kemper goes high, looking for Chair. Chests it down by the corner flag. He had pressure from Taylor on him. He's kicked it onto the number 6, and on Rangers the throw. Kemper throwing it back towards Paul Smith. Edwards now. Finding Pierce Charles. Looks direct for Romain Borrell, who won't be able to get there, and it will be a Millwall goal kick.
Just over hits. When I came up from pitch side, Tyler, it's absolutely baking down there. We're in the shaded area up in the stand where it's normally freezing, but I'm actually sweating up here, so sympathies, if that's the right word for the players. 30 plus degrees.
I remember every year that you speak to a player after the first game of the season, they'll tell you how much they're feeling it anyway without the conditions.
You're right, you can do all the training in the world. The opening 20 minutes of the opening game, you start thinking to yourself, oof.
Madsen playing it up towards Kone. It's a good challenge from Taylor, and he's done well to protect it initially, but then Vale's now got it, and he's found Chair skipping onto his right foot, and Benge's got space on this right side. He's now found. Still with Mbenge back towards Chair in the centre. What about the left-footed strike? Still going on here, Chair. Moves it wide towards Paul Smith now. Chair again. Kemper. Madsen just behind him. Still on this Rangers left side. Madsen, it was a risky ball. Jimmy Dunn, though, will chase and get there. Coburn putting the pressure on him. Play towards Vale. His touch on towards Romain Borrell. Moving it backwards towards Jimmy Dunn, who will then see it all the way up to the Rangers' number one. Charles finding a nice ball to the halfway line. Vale able to turn, able to look in behind. Romain Borrell is in behind it. As he plays it on towards that left. Whether it came off a Millwall player, we'll wait and see. Looks like the throw has gone the way of Rangers, and it's taken back towards Chair now. Edge of the area, Chair. Twisting, turning into the box now. Left-footed ball in, headed away by Taylor. A little bit of miscommunication between Leonard and Aziz, and Chair gets a foot in before it is just hammered away by Aziz and picked up by Jimmy Dunn. And what's a good spell this for Rangers. Dunn finds Madsen.
Good start from Rangers on the front foot, playing forward. Harvey Vale's found a couple of good positions between lines. Elise Chair has.
This is Ronnie Edwards. The back off of Chair on the halfway line. Here he is again. Chair inside the centre circle this time.
Just blocked the passing corridors off Millwall. If you look at their back four, really narrow. Really narrow.
Edwards finds a gap to this left side for Paul Smith. Couldn't quite get it out of his feet as he was looking to get around Leonard. Play back towards the Millwall fullback here. And go long, it's come off Paul Smith. And out for a Millwall throw. And back towards Taylor. Now with the goalkeeper Jensen. Cooper here. Goes direct up towards Coburn. Kemper will head it forward though towards Paul Smith, looking to try and get around Leonard. And goes down holding his cuff, Paul Smith. The free kick given the way here of Rangers. Not quite as promising position as we had just before 10 minutes, but still a good opportunity from far out wide on this left. A word also for Leonard, who's given away a few free kicks on this near side.
Yeah. And Paul Smith would be happy with that. Not happy that you're getting fouled, but be happy that, you know, the man you're directly up against has committed a couple there. Referees having a word, so keep committing them, keep getting them on the ball, keep asking them a question.
It's a Chair on this left side. Vale now also making his way over. It looks like he's actually going to take this one, Harvey Vale. So it goes, didn't really beat the first man though. Straight back out towards the Rangers number 20. We'll have a second go from deep towards that back post. Headed away by Millwall. And Negley trying to get around, and Benge, who will see it back towards Pierce Charles. And returns it superbly out towards him, Benge. He gets the appreciation of Julien Stéphan as well, and Bengue now looking for Kone. Kone couldn't quite take it. And now Millwall looking to break up the other end. This is Cundall. Moves it back though towards the defensive line. There's a bit of frustration for the first time from the away supporters.
Yeah, wanted them to play forward a little bit earlier. They elected to just keep possession. And I probably don't blame them for that, actually, because Rangers have started the game the better. Haven't really worked the goalkeeper yet, but plenty of possession in the right end of the pitch for us. So Millwall just using this little period just to get a few touches of the ball.
So here's Cooper finding Sturge to complete the 1-2, but it does go straight out for a Rangers throw. Take. He's got to be careful. New rule is this 5-second countdown from the referees for throws.
Love to try and keep the game flowing and speed the game up, which I'm all in favour of, but I made the point last week. Opening month of the season, you'll see it, then usually, let's hope they keep on top of it for both sides, winning or losing.
Leonard for Aziz, his first time ball forward came with Kemper. And Aziz barges into Paul Smith, another Rangers free kick.
Paul Smith, we played 17 minutes, Paul Smith being fouled probably 4 or 5 times already.
Nice warm welcome to the new campaign for Paul Smith.
He won't mind it. I used to quite like it as a wide player. What ball again?
And Pierce Charles out towards Mbenge on the right. This is now Harvey Vale. Getting the challenge on him, and it was a good challenge as well. Now Millwall can think about breaking. Cundall driving forward, moving it right on towards Aziz. Take on Boyd Kemper, his pass towards Leonard, and then Edwards came across. It wasn't a good clearance though from Edwards, and it's straight back towards the feet of Aziz. Taking on both Kemper and Cher, and then Kemper able to barge it out and see it out for the goal kick.
Yeah, good defending. His first test in a 1v1 situation, and he's more than up to it. Key for defenders there, any youngster, you know, when you defend them, keep your eye on the ball. Don't watch the shimmies, the body movement. Can you keep your eye on the ball? That's all that matters. Sometimes easier said than done.
Heading it back from the long kick forwards, and Caleb's taken a chance. There was pressure from Kone, who will win Rangers a throw high up in the Millwall half. It's taken back towards Chet. Madsen. Chet moves it back into the Rangers half with Ronnie Edwards.
Got Ilias Chair down below, just gesturing to, I think it was Harvey Vale, to make a run. That's just overhit.
So he went direct looking for Romain Borrell, but is straight into the gloves of Lucas Jensen. Taylor finding Leonard. This long ball forward. Owen will put on the pressure for Ronnie Edwards. Gets it back towards Pierce Charles, who will have to be quick, and was, to find Jimmy Dunn. Does have room to drive into. So he moves it central and then finds Nicholas Madsen. Madsen going high out towards this left side where Kemper was making the dart forward. Out came Femi Aziz. Kemper down on the ground after the challenge. The throw has been awarded for Rangers.
Just get caught on the top of his foot. Don't think there was anything in it.
It will be okay. did say after signing how much he likes the physical contest. He was up for the task in his first defensive 1v1. Here's Chair. Moves it back towards Ronnie Edwards. First time out to this left for Nicholas Madsen. A good Chair again. Kemper for Madsen. There's Ronnie Edwards back on that halfway line. Play that diagonal out towards Mbenge. This ball didn't quite make it to Vale. Still not quite under control of Millwall, and they eventually clear it out, but only towards Jimmy Dunn. His pass, though, didn't find a Rangers shirt.
Just in possession, I just think Rangers' shape is causing them a little bit of a problem, because by playing Roman Burrell a little bit wider, that's keeping Sturge pinned back. Negley's getting dragged into the middle of the park, so that's creating space for Amadou Mbenge. So just a little tactical win for Rangers in terms of how the game's progressing. And hence, when Millwall get it, Coburn's not the quickest. He's got other attributes. Because Negley's getting drawn into the middle of the park. They haven't really got an out, and they haven't got ball in behind. Down that left-hand side or centrally. Yeah, they've got Aziz this side, but I'm talking about the other side of the pitch.
Which is where we've seen a lot of things break down for Millwall, as it did just then, because Rangers now have a throw. Going forward it goes from Mbenge. Taylor winning the header. Negley now picking it up and moving it behind him towards Sturge. Keeper all the way back towards Jensen. It goes now towards Cooper. Taylor. Leonard. Just find a gap in that midfield, and now Millwall can pass their way into the Rangers half. Negley. Great challenge from Harvey Vale. And Mbenge will help it back towards Jimmy Dunn. Good Harvey Vale again, he moves it behind him towards Piers Charles.
Defensive side of the game, equally as important.
Played a quarter of the game, level at 0-0. The goalkeeper yet to be tested, but Rangers certainly had better in terms of the overall balance and territory. Charles drills one out towards this left side. Kemper will keep it in play. He's got Chair just behind him. Chair finding Paul Smith. Smith for Mbenge. Mbenge back out towards Chair on the edge of the area. Moves it to Madsen just behind him. Returns to Chair a little wider now on this Rangers left. Kemper overlapping. Chair hanging on to it, taking on Denor. Now uses Kemper. Back with Elias Chair. Madsen. Finding Chair again. He's held his run. And now looks to take it to the left side of the box. Cuts it back. And it's defended away in there and cleared away by Denor. And out for a Rangers ball high up in the Millwall half.
Yeah, well played down this left-hand side. Elias Chair at the heart of it. Attacks the space on the outside. Flashes across him, which they deal with.
Kemper with the throw towards the penalty area, nodded on by Kone, then by Vale, before it is cleared away by Sturge. Coburn against Jimmy Dunn here, and Dunn was holding the Millwall attacker too much, and the free kick does go the way.
That's the sort of the first real physical exchange from Coburn and one of the Rangers defenders. Jimmy's just deemed to be overzealous with his challenges. A couple of minutes ago, we just see the range of Piers Charles's passing with his left foot this time. I know pings are just below us. Perfect trajectory, perfect weight.
So there's the long ball forward from Millwall. Dunn winning the header for Rangers. So cycle back out towards their left side. Taylor battling away. It has gone out of play. Rangers throw to come deep within the half, and I think there'll be a speaking to from the referee towards Mbenge. I think that means us. Well, straight away, this 5-second countdown I don't understand, because that's taken 10 seconds and still not started that countdown.
And he steals about 7 yards. Done.
Another good challenge defensively from Harvey Vale. Great work from Kone. Madsen looking high out towards this left side. Right idea. All in hard. He nods it back towards Jensen. Just about gets enough on it. Paul Smith was a little cheeky in the way he pulled back the Millwall goalkeeper, stopping a quick distribution. You mentioned the kicking of Pierce Charles just before. I was actually a bit concerned because the first kick he did in the whole game went straight out for a goal kick, and I'm like, oh no, what's happened straight away? But
just teasing us.
Millwall with the big diagonal out towards Leonard by the corner flag. Picks it onto Boy Kemper, wins Millwall the throw. Up in the Rangers half. Paul Smith gets a talking to for his little tug back on Jensen just before. Goes that long throw. Madsen heads it away. He'll pick it back up on the halfway line through Sturge. He's then floated back out towards that right side. Kemper heads it on towards Smith. Return towards the Rangers fullback, who can then put his boot through it with the clearance. Kone's going to put a bit of pressure on Sturge, who was able to win the header, and Mill will keep the possession.
As well as Sturge for the opposition. Not just to win the header, but to head it to one of his teammates.
Oh, with the possession in the middle of the park. Taylor finding Cooper. Looking forward, then moving it left on towards Denor. He'll try that switch again. Looking for Aziz, who wins the header, but only finds Nicholas Madsen with it. Gets it out of his feet. Madsen was then being pulled back by Connell. Rangers free kick.
Yeah. Well done, Boy Kemper, on his defending, and well done, Nico Madsen. Great to see him back. I was a little bit worried when he limped off a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what was the extent, but great to see him back, involved, hopefully dictating games, the tempo of games, with his calmness and his range of passing that we saw come to the fore last season, didn't we? Had a super season.
It's found here by Pierce Charles. Lefty goes out towards Chair. Chair going high, looking for Paul Smith. First touch with his head, but it then bounces straight out for a goal kick.
Yeah, thumbs up too early, running behind. Just the touch let him down. A hard one to take out the air. I think Rangers will be relatively pleased with the opening. It'll be 28 minutes, but probably, I'm going to say, be a little bit disappointed with the territory we've had that we haven't with the goalkeeper.
While starting to get a little more comfortable within the game. A few longer spells of possession for the visitors. Currently have it with Denor, taking up to the halfway line. For the gap and finding it with Leonard. He then moves it across to that left side of the defence. It's with Cooper. Turned all the way back now towards Jensen, a long way out of his penalty area. Finding Cooper. Taylor for Denor. Moving back to the Millwall centre half. Along to the left now for Cooper. Forward for Sturge on the halfway line. Taken on Mbenge. Good foot in there from Mbenge. Lamar Burrell now takes it. Moves it to the centre for Chair. He went first time high in behind for Kone. Cooper's favourites, but Kone will keep on putting some pressure on Cooper. And then gets it back to the goalkeeper Jensen. Puts his foot through the ball thanks to the pressure from Chair. Kemper winning the header. Smith couldn't take it in his stride. Smith then gets a foot in on Aziz, but gets contact with the man as well. And they will have a free kick on the halfway line on this right side for them. It's actually taken short, and Metcalf picks it up and moves it left on towards Cooper. Here's Taylor. Denorna. Wide to the right for Aziz, who can play it further forward for Leonard, who sends it into the penalty area, volleyed away by Harvey Vale. Millwall winning the next header, and Aziz has it in a promising position. He's going to go for goal from a long way out, and I'll tell you what, he's caught it quite cleanly. Did go a fair bit wide in the end.
Yeah, you see what he's trying. Seen him do it before. It's fully 30 yards out. Just started too wide, but it's starting to bend. He's bending too late. Doesn't trouble Pierce Charles whatsoever.
Let's see with the Rangers number 1. Running Madsen. Edwards back towards Charles again. This time he's forced to go long first time. Taylor winning the header against Kone. Tenor winning the second, but that will bounce straight back towards Kone. No one's really able to take it under control. Smith now sending it high out to the right from Benge. His touch did then invite the challenge, and Mill have that possession back, and they found a neat pocket. Metcalf working it left towards Sturge.
And just a little reluctance from Millwall to play forward in those areas. Elect just to keep possession and play safe.
Cooper sends one high up towards Coburn. Edwards gets a toe in there. Bouncing around in the centre circle. Tenor's touch will only find Chair. Tenor was able to recover. Leonard for Cundall. He moves it on towards Cooper. Towards Caleb Taylor. Tenor now dropping deeper to receive the possession for the visitors. Oh, he's mishead it and given it straight towards Romain Burrell now on the halfway line. Let's see what Burrell can do with this as he's driving out wide towards this Rangers right. Still going on here. Romain Burrell sending it in towards that back post. Paul Smith coming in to head it back across. Will be able to take it down and get it clear through Leonard. Coburn winning the header, but straight towards Harvey Vale now. Vale driving forward, he's going to have a go, but he couldn't keep it down.
I don't mind that from Harvey. And that picks it up. A pocket of space, drives forward. Shot rises. Finds the Millwall fans in the upper tier of the stand.
Goal kick here. Doesn't look like Jensen will
they're going to
go long.
For Coburn, play off that.
Winning the header, ends up on the deck, but referee says no foul. Vale then nods another ball forward. Cooper winning the next ball for Millwall. Sturge then taking it down. He's got an option to his left here. Negley driving on forward for Millwall. Burrell chasing back, sent into the penalty area. Picked up here by Coburn, drives back out of the box, lays it off to the right. This is Leonard. Chopping back infield, outside of the boot. Delivery, headed away by Jimmy Dunn, taken down here by Madsen, who then drives out here for Rangers. So this is Romain Burrell taking it into the Millwall half. He'll keep on going on here before then cutting back, but then you could tell, to be honest, he was pretty knackered at that stage. He just tracked back before and then tracking forward again, and Sturge was able to get a challenge in on him.
Just about to say, keep going forward, knock it and run. If you just mentioned if he's feeling the effects of the long run, well, guarantee you without the ball, Sturge would have been as well.
So here is Cooper. Negley now. Thinks one up towards Coburn, who's got away from Jimmy Dunn via a little push. So the free kick goes the way of Rangers.
Just a little nudge. Enough. Well spotted from the referee.
10 minutes to go the first half. We're level at 0-0.
Evenly contested, as you would expect. Keepers. That's a mistaken. No real dramas for either keeper. No real chance. That sort of an afternoon where one bit of magic, one flash of brilliance a set play, a decision, might decide the game, because it was always going to be tight. Look at the benches. Is that where the game's going to become won from? Because invariably there will be changes made from both sides at some point.
That's it. But, straight out for a Rangers throw in front of the dugouts.
I just feel the game's just in a lull at this moment in time. I thought Rangers started really brightly.
They're able to stretch and keep the possession. Madsen moving it left on towards Ronnie Edwards. Taking it into the Millwall half. Finding Smith, first time out to this left side for Kemper. Edwards for Chet. Turns it back to Ronnie Edwards, under pressure from Denor. Now Madsen is found. Madsen finding Paul Smith. His touch on towards Kemper, who kicks it onto Leonard and wins Rangers a throw. Taken quickly back towards Paul Smith. This is Ronnie Edwards. All the way back with Piers Charles. Drops it high out towards Jimmy Dunn to his right. Dunn playing it up towards Romain Burrell. Wanted the foul, gets the foul, was being pulled down by Cooper.
Does well there, Romain, initially. So he just backs into Cooper, initiates the contact and the pull. Chance for Rangers. Jimmy, get yourself in there. Ronnie Edwards. And Kemper will make his way in there.
Paul Smith has also just changed flank. Sticking out far on that right side. Free kick is a few yards off to the right. Bale or chair to take.
Right foot. Bale gets away from it.
Sent in by Chair. And there at the back stick, Millwall headed away, but it's recycled out to the boy Kemper, sending it in first time. Nodded on by Romain Burrell. Unbeaten to the next header. Cundall wins the next flick on. Edwards was then taken out, and Rangers will have another free kick. Martin wants to take it quickly.
Foul from Aziz. He can moan all he wants. Stupid foul to give away. This is one of these, we talk about it all the time, don't we? One of these awkward situations where you're 30 yards from goal, plus central, you've got no angle. Do you change the angle? Do you just flip it and play on the second phase?
Who sends it into the penalty area. Mill will get the first header away. Benge rising to win the second challenge. Knocks it forward once more, and there's a
clash of
head injury. And actually, well, the free kick's gone against him, Benge, after a little bit of thought from the referee. And Benge not confronting the referee, he's actually confronting O'Neill.
That's the thing, looking at the back, initially I thought, it's probably just lead. That's all it was, just lead with his arm. Maybe that's why it was given. Just listen to the referee, Amadou. Accept it because it's been given. I feel a bit hard done by it. It's been given, it's done. Move on.
Here's Taylor. Moving it right on towards Denor. Direct up towards Aziz. It was a little barge, and well, I think it was offside anyway there from Aziz.
Flag went up. Boy Kemper a little nudge as well, in my opinion. Flag had gone up. This is a competitive game, but it's still got the feel for me as almost like a bit pre-season-y. Hence, quietness around the ground. guarantee you this fixture, whenever it is in the league, and I kind of put my finger on it, it won't be as quiet as this when there's 3 points at stake.
So at that stage with 5 minutes to go before the end of the first half, where physically players will certainly be feeling it for a little 15 minutes top up.
One eye on the clock.
So the switch from Millwall was too high for Aziz, and that will come out for a Rangers throw.
Just picking up my point, when you've got 9 o'clock and you know you're getting close to half time, that's where you stay really, really focused. We spoke about it in the pre-season games, didn't we? Last year we conceded, in my opinion, too many goals just before and just after half time.
So an important few minutes here for Rangers, who do have a throw on the halfway line. Taken back towards Ronnie Edwards. There is Pierce Charles with pressure from Coban, so he gets it along towards that right side. And it does go straight out for a Millwall throw.
And the benefit of the doubt, Coban puts him under pressure. A lot harder to pick someone out 8 yards away when someone's breathing down your neck than when they stand off and let you play.
Sturge finding Cooper. Taylor now. And towards that right side. Aziz is a touch further forward. Leonard now picking it up. But looks like the flag is up against the fullback.
It's offside.
Charles putting his left boot through the ball. Taylor then nods it back on towards Cooper. He'll help it all the way back towards Jensen. As ball forward, Dunn wins the header. And was it offside, I think, against Coban, perhaps. So Rangers free kick now, right on the halfway line.
So frustrating for your team that centre forward doesn't work back 2-3 yards. So that's all it is.
Back underway with Ronnie Edwards, finding Chair on the halfway line, who will play it back towards Pierce Charles. Drill it forward. Paul Smith made a central run. He's picked up there by Taylor, who can then play it back towards Cooper. Returns and moves it behind him to Jensen in goal. He now floats one out, looking for Aziz. With a fair barge. Rangers then get it away, and Denol picks it up and moves it back towards Jensen once more. Cooper. Taylor. Returning it towards the Millwall centre half. Moving forward right to the centre. Edwards takes it down with his thigh. He now drives on forward here for the R's. Paul Smith to his left. Paul Smith now found. As he moves it to the edge of the area. This is Harvey Vale. Wants it on his left foot. Gets his shot away. It was a good block by Denol.
It's a great block. So when Harvey shifts it, you just think, go on. Denol comes from nowhere, throws his body in front of it.
Kemper moves it back towards Madsen. Here's Charles now. To the last minute of the first half. Vale moves it on right towards Jimmy Dunn. Wide now for Benge. He goes central for Kone. First time layoff behind him for Harvey Vale. Two players on him who have to be careful. Vale, and he's done well to just about get it away from those two Millwall players. The Rangers can continue with the possession through Chet. 3 yards infield for Madsen. Smith for Chair again. Madsen once more. Paul Smith back for the Rangers midfielder. There's Ronnie Edwards, still just about within the Millwall half as we go into one additional minute at the end of the first half. Kemper now on this left side. Kemper returning it to Edwards now. Edwards works it wide for Chair. Check. Edwards once more. Rangers taking the patient approach. Jimmy Dunn then finding Madsen. Ronnie Edwards. Chet take over. So he finds Madsen towards it. Yes, Chet. Madsen now a little more to this left. Kemper. Back it goes towards Ronnie Edwards. Vale. Jimmy Dunn taking it forward. Last chances for Rangers as he goes wide towards them. Benge. And Benge back towards Harvey Vale. He'll have to send it in now, and he does send it into the penalty area. Taylor gets the first ball away. Dunn trying to keep it alive. Still bouncing around in the box as it's Chair who takes it down with his chest, gets a volley away. It's deflected out back towards this right side. Here's Benge floating it in, but didn't get the connection. It's in the gloves of Jensen for what is the last of the action of the first 45. Well, it started with a little bit of tempo, ended with a little bit of tempo as well. But we are level at the break. It's Rangers 0, Millwall 0. Since, what did you make of the first half?
Quite pleasing on the eye in terms of possession and ball retention and pass connections, and I think both teams will want a bit more in the final thirds. Probably one of the easiest games for us that we're going to have in terms of, you know, having to describe chances and saves and goal-mouth action, because let's be honest, there's been none of it. Their goalkeeper hasn't made a save. Piers Charles hasn't. That little bit of sharpness in the final third, but maybe that'll come. And the guys down below us, you know, coming off from the bench, that's where the game might be decided the later this game goes. But yeah, 0-0, competitive game, as you thought, two sides having a go at each other. But yeah, could do with a little bit more stuff happening where it gets people off their seats.
Well, let's hope we see more of that in the second half in 15 minutes' time. Welcome back for the second 45. As the players have made their way back out of the tunnel here. Almost set and ready for second half kick-off. Level at 0-0 going into this second 45. And the first question for Since is, what's that next step for Rangers to try and find an opener?
Well, to try and create openings, chances, work the back four of Millwall, certainly work the goalkeeper. I'm sure if you were of the Millwall orientation, you'd be saying exactly the same. It's been a game where both teams have had comfortable possession, but not really much going on, happening. So it's just which team, which player can find something to unlock a door.
Rangers do have a early second half free kick, as this is Jimmy Dunn playing it back towards Pierce Charles. Running Harvey Vale through the little gap as he moves it out towards this right side. This is Mbenge for Amar Barrow. Couldn't quite take it under control though. Vale quick to pick up the pieces. He looks in behind for Kone. Kone's going to get there first, but the flag up against him.
I just went a little bit early. If you're looking at both sides and you said, what do both sides want? Well, for us, can we get our creative players on the ball? Can we get Chair more involved, have lots of touches, but in other areas where I'm sure Millwall were happy.
So Menge's just won it back here on the Rangers' right. On he goes. Sent it in. Whether it was a missed kick, I think it was, because it has gone straight out for a goal kick.
Finishing off that, can we get into wide areas? Can we get crosses in? Can Vale and Madsen really dictate that middle of the park? And if you're Millwall, I'm sure they'll be asking Coburn to be a bit more physical like he was in the league game last year. Can they get Aziz on the ball? Yeah, he is a threat.
QPR moving out to this left side for Sturge. Sturge sending it in early. Charles just had to be a little bit careful before seeing it sail over his crossbar.
That's a poor cross. Really poor cross. The fact that he goes anywhere near the goal makes it a worse cross than it actually was, because that's not what he's looking for at all.
This is Jimmy Dunn for Rangers. Taken up towards that halfway line. Now move it back towards Pierce Charles. Lefty goes on towards Edwards. His ball forward, check. The escape, not quite. Denor's touch, and Boy Kemper will now track back. Play it back towards Pierce Charles, who knows he has to be quick. Kicks it away, but it is now picked up by Millwall. But they've made a mess of the situation. Metcalf couldn't find Denor, and Rangers will have a throw.
It's only 2 and a bit minutes in, but I just sense a little bit more urgency in things that Millwall are doing in forward areas.
Certainly doesn't seem quite as comfortable with the possession within our back four at the start of this second half as it did at points in the first. Vale, Kone, back towards Vale. Really nicely worked this from Rangers. Vale looking to play one in behind. It might bounce round, and Mbenge, good save. Flag's up anyway.
Yeah, the flag was up. But good little combination for Rangers down this right-hand side. Mbenge gets really deep into the opposition box. Goalkeeper makes a decent save, but as you say, wouldn't have counted. And yeah, it's a good 5 yards offside, to be honest.
Goes here from Jensen, and Mbenge will win the header. The Rangers chested down in the centre. Metcalf then plays one high out towards Aziz, but too high and too close to Charles, who picks it up in goal for Rangers. Puts it now down to his feet. Floats it out towards Mbenge on the right, but he couldn't take it under control there, Amadou Mbenge.
That's another good ping from the goalkeeper. And Benge's just probably a little bit guilty of thinking one stage ahead before he gets it under control.
Taylor moving it back towards the goalkeeper. Back again here for Millwall. This time he goes right and finds Denor. Floats one up towards Coburn, who can win the flick on, but Ronnie Edwards read it well. You see it back to Charles.
Yeah, make a good point there. Ronnie does read it well because he knows he's not going to win the header. So as the ball's in flight, he just backs off.
Here's Charles. Sending it high, but Cooper will win the header from Millwall. Maybe then finds Denor. Denor looking through the gap for Coburn. Edwards got a foot in there. Cundall then picks it back up again. Wants the foul, doesn't get it. Waits for Chair. Skips away from the first challenge of Leonard. Madsen, and now back towards Ronnie Edwards. There'll be no counter-attack, but Rangers will have the possession. 5 minutes gone in the second half, still level at 0-0. Charles this time goes the other way and looks for Boyd Kemper. Wins the flick on towards Paul Smith. Neatly taken that by Paul Smith on the left. He's alone at the moment, taking on Taylor. Paul Smith in towards the penalty area onto his left foot, and it's come back off Callum Taylor, and it's a Rangers corner for the first time in this second half.
That's good wing play from Paul Smith. It's good defensive header from Boyd Kemper. He's still feeling the effects, but once it gets to Paul Smith up against Taylor, go on, take him on. Does on the outside. Defender defends it well, but we get a corner.
Chair making his way out to the far side, ready to take. Paul Smith is the short option. Chair sends it in direct. It's a nice looking ball. It's saved by Jensen. Just about, might have been a deflection on the line as well. Closest Rangers have come.
Well, it's a well-worked corner. I couldn't see who got the final touch, Tyler, to be brutally honest, but the goalkeeper makes an instinctive. Comes off a defender. Does it come off Taylor? Jensen just gets his arm up to keep it out.
Oh, that's a giveaway straight towards Chair on the edge of the area. Chair will look for Kone. It's just too far ahead of him. Jensen was able to grasp in his stride in goal for Millwall. Big opportunity.
Yeah, big opportunity. Pass was just half a yard over hit. Credit the goalkeeper. He comes and smothers. He's out very early. He's quick at the feet of Richard Kone. A couple of opportunities in the last 30 seconds for Rangers.
Benge's giveaway. And Sturge can now drive forward on the Millwall left. Negley outside of him. Negley sending it in. Pierce Charles always let it fumble. And Millwall have an opening goal. 7 minutes into the second half. A tapping in the end for Cundall.
Well, it just goes down as an error, an individual error. That's all you can say. You know, you can try and dress it up as much as you can. Pierce Charles holds his hands up. That's down to him. Ball out wide because it's a really poor cross. And I don't know if he thinks it's going to go over the bar and at the last minute decides to catch it because there's no one near him. And he just drops it. And Cundall, he won't score an easier goal in his career from a foot out. But Rangers find themselves behind.
Jimmy Dunn sends one forward. Now looking to win the next header. It's picked up though by Denor. Sturge now. His touch took it straight out for a Rangers throw, right on the halfway line.
just thinking, just before that, you know, Rangers had 2 good opportunities, don't you? It comes from nothing. It's a really poor cross, and there's Charles.
They will just win themselves a throw right beneath us.
And that's the problem with being a goalkeeper. It's the one position on the pitch. Anyone else can make a mistake anywhere on the field, and it can get covered up. A goalkeeper makes one, an error, an individual error, you usually end up picking the ball out the back of the net. So it's done, it's happened. Test for him individually, test for us collectively.
Leonard gets one clear after a ball in behind Madsen. And in the next header towards Paul Smith. They will win it back though. Edwards then comes across to run away for Rangers. Vale now picking it up. Coburn with the pressure and with the foul on Harvey Vale. Rangers free kick, very central, just within the Millwall half. Taken short towards Chair. And goes wide left towards Kemper. With Chair again hit. Chair onto his right foot, and now it's with Madsen turning it back to the halfway line for Ronnie Edwards. Madsen again. Edwards back towards Piers Charles. Left-footed ball out wide towards the right. Sturge wins the contact, but that will go straight back towards Jimmy Dunn, who then finds Piers Charles. Madsen will complete the triangle out towards Jimmy Dunn on this right. His ball is a nice find for Kone on the halfway line, facing his own goal at the moment. Returns it back towards Jimmy Dunn. Great ball from Jimmy Dunn. Harvey Vale can now drive forward here for Rangers. On he goes. He's got Roman Burrell to his right. Roman Burrell inside the penalty area wins Rangers a corner. Came off Cooper last.
Well, it's really good play. Excellent play, Jimmy Dunn. Good ball in. Harvey Vale finds a good pocket of space. Just think that pass again is just slightly overhit for Roman Burrell. He's stretching. Defender comes across, gets the block for a corner.
Goes from Vale. Never really got it off the ground, and it's straight out for a Rangers throw now. Benge will take. Takes it up towards Kone, who's touched looking for Roman Burrell. That's headed away and then volleyed further clear up towards Coburn. Dunn was able to see it off so that Ronnie Edwards could pick it up, but there's pressure coming in on Ronnie Edwards, and he's done well under that pressure. Chair now looking for Harvey Vale. Wide to the right he goes from Benge. Burrell overlapping. Cooper coming out, getting a touch in there. Rangers throw high up in the Millwall half. Taken towards Harvey Vale. He cuts it back nicely here for Roman Burrell. He sends it in towards the back post. Kone chests it down. Is there a shot at the end of it? No, and Denort gets there for Millwall. Paul Smith with a challenge, but with a fair one. Well, the throw has gone the way of Millwall, despite Rangers thinking it should have gone the other way. Throw forward where Edwards wins the first header. Vale up for the next. Taylor will then leave it for Denort to send it back to the goalkeeper Jensen. And kick forward looking for Coburn, who's going to get there here on the edge of the area. Holding off Jimmy Dunn, laying it left towards Negley. Negley taking on Benge. Sturge just behind. Sturge still. Negley once more an option, moves it further behind, and this is Denor now. Denor's got time to send one in, and maybe even too much time because he's made a complete mess of it, and it's time for a goal kick.
Just a little bit concerning that one long ball there from Millwall. to Coburn just causes a problem. One long ball and it's bouncing and you're defending it inside your own 18-yard box. Doesn't come to anything. I'm sure it's something Ronnie and Jimmy will talk about and look to deal with better.
Coming across here from Millwall, finding Sturge to his left. His ball forward, intercepted by Madsen. Still battling away and able to retain the possession by the help of Mbenge. This is Harvey Vale now. Ronnie Edwards. Looking direct, looking for Romain Borrell, who might just get there here. Romain Borrell Jensen, he's just about got a touching goal for Millwall, who scrambled it clear.
Well, we talk about long ball causing you problems, and we've just played one. I know Romain Borrell runs from out to in. It's a long ball that they don't deal with very well. Game just looks like it's opening up since that goal. Rangers have certainly got to push.
Here's Denort, floating one out to the Millwall right, running Aziz. So he sends it in from deep, but not with any accuracy.
Poor ball. Rangers making subs.
So on the hour mark, it's Romain Borrell and Nicholas Madsen coming off of the field. Kwame Poku and Jonathan Varane, the two to come on.
Just like for like in terms of position. Kwame Poku will come, play down the right-hand side. Jonathan Varane just slot in the middle of the park. That's the deeper one of him and Harvey Vale.
So here's Harvey Vale, first time to find Jonathan Varane. Moves it left towards Ronnie Edwards, forward now for Chair on the halfway line, pressure coming in from Aziz, so he finds Ronnie Edwards again. Nice gap there for Jonathan Varane. Can look forward, holds it for now, and then moves it right on towards Harvey Vale, and Mbenge further out wide. And Mbenge back towards Jonathan Varane. Varane sends one into the penalty area, that's headed away. Aziz now picking it up with Boy Kemper pressing at him high and forcing the clearance out for a Rangers throw. Taken quickly. Here is Kemper. Drifting infield. Looking for Kone, but it was too far away from him, and Millwall get it out and look direct up towards Coburn. Don's touch, and Varane looking to beat Cundall to it. And the throw goes the way of Rangers. Taken back by Kemper towards Ronnie Edwards. There's Charles. On Jonathan Varane now. And move it right on towards Jimmy Dunn. Still driving on forward. This ball's come back off the Millwall man, but deflected back towards Jonathan Varane in a more central position. He finds Chair. Chair has Kemper around the outside of him. Paul Smith a few yards further forward, wide out on this Rangers left. Chair helping out here. Chair looking for Kone. And the return ball was too far away from him, and Cundall now takes it out here for Millwall. Leonard then puts his foot through the ball.
And Millwall haven't really got that out ball with it and played up the sides. Coburn's not that type of player, so they elect just to keep possession.
There's Ronnie Edwards. Charles now. Finding Harvey Vale, and there was the pressure on Vale, and now there's an opening for Millwall. Metcalf finding Negley inside the penalty area. His cutback, good stretch by Jimmy Dunn, and it has gone out for a corner.
Well, again, I know we're doing it, and it's a big part of what we do, that little triangle of player, but I just felt the ball was too straight into the midfield player. Harvey Vale gets robbed, then they're straight into the heart of your defence. So whilst that's the way you want to build up, just maybe the angle of the receiving player, it's just a slight technical issue. Come off a little bit more on the half turn rather than a closed position, see where the opposition player is.
And goes that corner, there's the header, and it's not far wide. Big chance for Cooper.
Big chance, Cooper gets free. Haven't got the contact that he did, he'd be disappointed not to at least get it on target.
Oh, and Chair's going to pick this up, and he's in behind the Millwall defence. It's Ilias Chair, and it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, able to make the save. Huge opportunity, biggest one for Rangers by far.
You're right, big chance. Big chance. Ilias Chair gets himself into a good position. He just doesn't quite. You see, we talk about a straight ball. They make a real hash of it. Both centre-backs go for the same ball. Chair's in. And he doesn't quite get the... Probably gets enough power on it. Doesn't get the direction.
Well, after that, the goalkeeper had remained down. And the medical teams were initially called on by the referee, and then because of that, when that happens now, when there's no foul given and a goalkeeper goes down, it means one of the Millwall players has to go off for a minute.
Yes.
So
a new rule that's been brought in.
It's Taylor who's coming off the field. He'll be back on in a minute's time.
It's almost like a nominated player, and if that doesn't happen, your captain has to go off the pitch. So yeah, I think we all watched the game last night, or I certainly did, where someone took ages to get off the pitch, and that works against you as well. So now little rule changes, tweaks, might take the players a bit of getting used to, but they're going to have to get used to them quick. So when you're playing for real, it could become costly.
Kick forward from Jensen goes straight out for a Rangers throw.
And they all know, because they sit in meetings, us included, we're referees. The coaching staff should reinforce everything.
He didn't get his touch right from the pass from Jimmy Dunn. So he goes straight out for a Millwall throw. Sturge, battling with Mbenge. Nice touch from Mbenge to get it towards Poku. Great ball from Harvey Vale. Here's Chair now. Poku to his right, returning it back towards Chair, who can drift infield now for Rangers. Cuts back out onto his right foot again. Sent it in early. Chair, great ball towards Kone. Can Paul Smith keep it alive? He can't, but there's a flag up anyway.
That's a good ball in from Ilias Chair. Offside against Rich Kone. Good involvement from Poku. Finds Ilias Chair. Plays it with a bit of bend, a bit of pace on it as well.
And kick forward. Edwards won the first ball. It was then kicked onto Varane and out for a Millwall throw.
Gesture on there, weren't you? 5 seconds.
I was confused. That I don't understand. The 5-second countdown happened 10 seconds after the ball was in the hands of the Millwall player. So Millwall will have another throw on this right side.
I can see you getting frustrated. I'm with you. Another sub for Rangers. Rich Kone done for the day.
The Alfie Lloyd on to replace him. Now to take the throw after the substitution. And there's that first header flick on by Millwall. It's still not cleared by Rangers. Dunn then gets it further out. Chet. And then you find Leonard as it's played back towards Sturge. And then played all the way back towards Jensen in goal. Cooper's stayed up here for Millwall, and there's that long diagonal looking to find the centre half. And free kick given against Cooper. Both Dunn and Mbenge on the deck.
It's that direct Route 1 sort of stuff into Coburn. He's playing on his physical presence.
Great ball from Charles on towards Mbenge. Poku. Taken out. Metcalf. Rangers free kick right on the halfway line, out to this right side. Taken quickly by Dunn on towards Poku. Back on his feet. Into the final 20. Says Ronnie Edwards. We'll find Chair. He moves it wide to the left now towards Paul Smith, taking on Aziz. Oh, and he's made a stumble on his own accord there, Paul Smith, but he did make amends. Won it back, one Rangers a throw. Taken quickly on towards Elias Chair. Aziz with the challenge. Still battling on there, Aziz. And rolls it through the legs of Elias Chair. Varane then comes across to pick back up the possession for Rangers, and Edwards can get it back towards Pierce Charles. Edwards again hit back with the Rangers goalkeeper. Goes high out towards the right for Jimmy Dunn. His ball never found Alfie Lloyd, and it was intercepted by Taylor. Strong fit in by Ronnie Edwards as it will bounce back towards Denor, who plays it back towards Jensen. Leonard then playing it out towards the right. And, too far ahead of Aziz. And Edwards coming across, plays it back towards Charles. Leonard winning the header from his long kick forward. Kemper up to the next ball. Now finding Vale, his ball forward towards Alfie Lloyd. Lloyd can move it to this right for Poku. Good first bit of control from Poku on this right side for Rangers. Going on to his right foot, and it's deflected out and behind for a Rangers corner.
Yep, goes on the outside. They know he's looking to come on his left, over-exaggerate the body position, so go on, take that outside and get your cross in, which he does. Gets blocked. Corner Rangers.
Vale to take. Sent in towards the penalty area, bouncing around but then into the gloves of Jensen.
It just comes to Alfie Lloyd, evades the guys at the near post. He's a bit off balance. Can't gather it, can't take it in. Can't get a strike either, so it just falls harmlessly to the Millwall keeper.
Enjoying the possession in their own half currently. Understandably, from their point of view, no rush to really try and force anything with it. Although Sturge getting around and Mbenge, but he came back from an offside position. And lucky from our point of view, it's a Millwall player, otherwise Since would have been too happy.
As you know, and sometimes you team me up, and it's one of my pet hates where guys can see right along the line and see the whole of the pitch. It's a good challenge.
We're trying to break away here. This is Aziz, and he's got away from Jonathan Varane, still advancing on the Millwall right. Varane chasing back, it bounces to Kundal on the edge of the area, works it back towards Aziz with the strike straight into the gloves of Pierce Charles.
Just wonder if he got his head up, Negley at the far posts. 20 yards of space.
Camper looking for Lloyd, but he was offside.
And that is one for us, because, you know, Alfie, you're quick, Alfie, you don't have to go too early.
Millwall now making some changes. Busby coming onto the field as he replaces Cundall. Coming on in the second of the changes. Back on the way with that ball out towards Lisby. Great first involvement with the first touch, but then he's taken off of him by Mbenge. Done then back towards Charles. Finding Harvey Vell. His touch on looking for Alfie Lloyd. Works it back towards Jimmy Dunn. Here's Ronnie Edwards.
For them, Conte will go and play centre forward, completely different player to Coburn.
Here's Smith now for Rangers. Down he went. Referee says no foul. Denor now breaking away from Millwall, playing it up towards the substitute. Conte wide on this right for the visitors. And got the initial foot in there, but it's the number 7 who comes out with it, lays it back now towards Denor. He flicks one into the box, it's then flicked on towards the back post, and Pierce Charles palms it away. Right to the feet of Poku, who then finds Amadou Mbenge looking to drive forward on the right here for Rangers. There came the challenge from Metcalf, and it's gone out for a Rangers throw.
Well, the Millwall fans get behind their side. Introduction of their two. Lisby and Conte will give them a little bit of pace as the game enters its final stages. Tired legs to stretch us.
Sykes is also coming on here to replace Leonard.
That's just a straight swap. Right back, right back.
Lloyd able to win back the possess. Chair. Smith out to his left side. Smith returning it towards Chair inside the penalty area. This ball though comes back off the Millwall man, and now led to a breakaway. Kemper stopping that breakaway with a foul, but the advantage played as it's played towards Conte.
And Falcon.
They'll eventually get a foot in there. A fair one. Millwall throw there.
That's what I was saying about them. They didn't have that, but the longer this game goes, Conde will give them that. Paul Smith's just gone down as well. I think that was from the previous challenge.
Two Rangers players being ready. Looks like Keely Adamson and Koki Saito to be coming on. We'll continue with a Millwall throw after the changes. Approaching the final 10 minutes. But there have been opportunities in this second half for Rangers. There was one off the line before the Millwall opener, and Chair had the biggest of the chances.
Yeah.
After the visitors got that first goal. So 1 with Adamson for the final just over 10 minutes of normal time. Of course, scored in the last of the pre-season games against Wimbledon.
Saito will come on for Paul Smith, obviously. Keely Adamson will go in as a right back.
So we can now take this long throw. Get on with the long throw, I should say. Jackson has gone short, and Millwall now looking to play out from their right. Back towards Sykes. Back towards Sturge. Sturge plays one on the diagonal, a little too much on it, and it's gone out for a goal kick. Charles. Right, he goes towards Jimmy Dunn. Goes to turn back from the pressure from Conte.
Just looking for that forward pass. But the avenues were blocked. Just got to keep the same with Ronnie. Can we get a little bit of movement? Just blocked us off. It's going to have to go back to the goalkeeper. We go long on the diag. No, be patient.
There's Jonathan Varane. Ronnie Edwards to his left. First involvement for Saito. There's it back to the halfway line for Jonathan Varane. Nice ball to Harvey Vale. Looking over the top for Alfie Lloyd, right side of the penalty area. It was Taylor coming across, getting it behind Rangers corner.
Just looked like it and opened up. Alfie Lloyd does well. The credit. Caleb Taylor reads the danger. He comes across, covers the ground quickly. Corner for Rangers. Can we find the delivery? Harvey Vale left foot. Ellie's chair shows some interest.
So goes that corner. Who will win the first contact? It's headed away, and now there's going to be a big chance on the breakaway. Conte has the whole Rangers half to drive into as he plays one over the top now to the left side of the penalty area. Negley cuts it back. Cleared away by Edwards, and it will break now towards Keely Adamson. Moves it forward towards Poku. Well, Poku's giving it away in a risky position. It's Sturge now, and there was a foul. There was no advantage. Millwall free kick in the Rangers half.
Yeah, it just gives Millwall time to run 30 seconds of the clock down. Just take their time. I'm sure they'll still look for Cooper and Taylor. No hurry. Aziz will just look to clip this left foot. Rangers defending yard outside the box. That's their line.
So he goes towards that back post. Dangerous looking ball. Taylor picks it up and recycles it back in. Keely Adamson will then pass it out looking for Saito. With Adamson. He moves it central now for Jonathan Varane. Oh, great footwork. Great body shape, I should say, from Jonathan Varane as now Vale drives forward. Is he being pulled back? No, says the referee, in terms of the appeals for a free kick. Kemper's able to intercept and win it back here for Rangers. He's now driving forward. Still Boy Kemper, still going on. He's got an option to his right with Poku, who he finds inside the box. Poku cutting it back, check, and he get a shot away. He's got Adamson just behind. Here is Adamson. Let's move back now towards Edwards. Adamson once more. Check. Poku to his right. Poku looking for Adamson, but he's put too much on the pass and it's straight out for a goal kick.
I think there was a couple of opportunities where could we have had the strike, could we have got the strike away? We don't. We elect to try and keep possession. They get bodies behind the ball and they're trying to force something.
More changes. It's been Gora Williams coming on for Millwall to replace Aziz. Daniel Kelly also coming on here for Metcalf. Goal kick now can be taken by Jensen towards that halfway line. So trying to take it down, but Millwall will get there and get along towards Arconte. Edwards tracking back and getting it back towards Charles. Pressure on the Rangers goalkeeper. So he just kicks it direct. It's then chested forward by Sturge. Dunn heads it back towards Edwards. Edwards goes to put his foot through it and kick it straight out for a throw.
Slightly off balance, Turrid under pressure. You're counting, Tyler?
So there goes the throw. Saito going to get clear up towards Alfie Lloyd. Took it down well on the halfway line. Chet looking to return it towards Alfie Lloyd. In behind the Millwall defence. Can he get a shot away? Still Alfie Lloyd. And in the end, it's come off Jensen. And behind for a corner.
I'll tell you what, I think it's Sykes, the Millwall defender. He does absolutely brilliant because he comes from nowhere and he just leans into Alfie Lloyd. Just look here, we're seeing the replay. Sykes comes and he just gets in front of Alfie Lloyd and puts him off. Another chance for Rangers. Goes wanting.
Here comes the following corner. And it goes from Chair. There's the header. It's bouncing around. It looks like it's Jimmy Dunn with the vital touch. And with less than 5 minutes to go, Rangers do have an equalising goal.
Well, it's a really, really good ball in. Jimmy Dunn gets the header, gets a deflection.
Sykes, isn't it? Yeah. Who it's come off of.
Yeah, wrong foot's the goalkeeper. Jimmy gets the header. Comes off Sykes' knee. Probably go down as an OG, I would have thought. But 1-1 with 5 minutes to go.
And that will make things interesting for the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time, or less than 5 minutes now. His long throw forward, appeals for a handball. Referee didn't see it. Millwall back with the possession. There's Jensen. Oh, and a stumble there from Karate, but he's just about managed to recover. Otherwise, Chair would have won it and would have been in behind. But Chair is able to win it back again, but this time it bounces just about for Denor. Two little let-offs there for Millwall. Here's Lisby. Play back towards Cooper. And all the way back towards Jensen in goal. Jensen's long drilled ball forward. And that will land in the gloves of Pierce Charles. Plays it out towards Jimmy Dunn. Plays it up towards Poku on the halfway line. Sturge was able to hold him off to allow Cooper to get there as Millwall play a direct route. It's chested down towards Mangora. Williams, that was good play from Varane, and then Saito taken down. Free kick for Rangers. Heating up this one.
Last few minutes. Rangers sense they can go on and finish it. That momentum shift from the goal.
So here's Charles. Edwards. Just give it away to Sykes, and then it's cleared away by Taylor. Edwards now heads one towards Jonathan Varane. Only Edwards once more here for Rangers. Only option is behind him as it's Pierce Charles now. Drilling one out towards Keely Adamson. Good control that from Adamson, then flicks it over the head of Lisby. It's got Poku to his right. This is Kwame Poku. 1v1 against Sturge, onto his left foot, deflected ball in, it's bouncing around, it's come towards Saito, his shot is blocked, he's still trying to keep it alive, down he goes, Referee waves away the penalty appeals. It's still scrambling around. Is there a shot at the end of it? Poku trying to keep it alive. And then floats another ball in. Jensen with the punch away. Poku takes it down again. Can he get another shot away? Oh, eventually it's towards the gloves of Jensen, who will be able to pick it up. It was almost a Sheffield Wednesday moment from a couple of seasons ago.
Chaos in that 18-yard box. Initial appeals for a penalty. Nothing after that. Then it's bubbling around and it's clear, half clear. Then we recycle it and it's bubbling and it's eventually comes to nothing.
Dunn wins a header for Rangers. Negley has it taken off of him by Saito. Kemper can then move it back here towards Piers Charles. Charles going direct. Lloyd against Cooper, who wins the header. Sykes chests it down and then volleys it forward. Edwards to nod one to the halfway line. Denor, though, will be able to pick it up here for Millwall. His touch was heavy, invited the chance from Varane. He's then gone very late on Varane. Well, the referee hasn't deemed it a foul. Varane's still on the ground. Charles will kick it out of play. Interesting to take a second look at that one.
Well, I thought he was late with a challenge.
Varane is now back up onto his feet. Here's a second look at it for us.
Probably not as bad as I first thought, to be honest. Hence Jonathan Varane's up.
A little bit of drama going on inside the dugouts, and we will continue with the Millwall throw. I'm sure they will give it back to Rangers. By the way, we are now a minute and a half into 4 additional minutes of stoppage time. So there is Jimmy Dunn putting his foot through it, but it doesn't look like there'll be anyone able to get there for Rangers. Cooper then volleys it out. Off the back of Varane's head. Bangura Williams then nods one forward from Millwall. Edwards for Varane, back to Ronnie Edwards. He now finds the gap for Chair. Chair can keep on advancing and can play it out to this left side. It's with Saito taking on Sykes. So Saito onto his right foot looking for Chair. It's too far ahead of him and it's out for a goal kick.
See what he's trying. One from Ellie's Chair. Beyond. Fortunately, the pass has got to be spot on in terms of direction and weight. And certainly the latter, the weight wasn't on it.
Direct from the goal kick. And then eventually out for a Rangers throw, taken on quickly there by Chair, looking for Alfie Lloyd on the left side. Good challenge from Sykes though. And Williams now. Denor on the Millwall right, looking for the big switch now out towards this left side. And it was well kept in by Lisby. Jimmy Dunn should get there for Rangers and does. A long kick away which then curved back out of play and for a Millwall throw. Sturge now finding Cooper. It's left side for Sturge again. Chance here for Kelly to play one out wide towards the Millwall right. Kemper able to stop the breakaway. Breaks to the feet of Lloyd, but he's given it straight back away towards Millwall. Saito then with the next challenge. He's done well to keep the possession. And Millwall have it straight back once more. Chair with the latest foot in there for Rangers. But Millwall once again just about retain that possession. Move it wide to this left side. It's with Sturge now. Chance to deliver into the penalty area. It's headed on towards goal. It's headed wide, and we have now played the 4 additional minutes at the end of the 90. And it does finish level at Loftus Road, thanks to a late equaliser from Jimmy Dunn after a fortunate deflection off of Sykes, but there was fortune from a Millwall point of view in the way they opened the scoring after Charles couldn't quite claim the cross, and it left the tap in for Cundall. So the full-time score is Rangers 1, Millwall 1, and what's coming up next is a penalty shootout. Since, what did you make of the second half?
Well, first of all, I think it's a game you can see both sides are still striving to get to where they would ideally want to get to in time for next week. You know, a couple of decent opportunities that we didn't take early in the second half. They go up the other end. Have to say it's an individual error from Pearce. It happens, certainly as a goalkeeper. You're 1-0 down. Then it's just, can we get back in the game? And we do. A little bit fortuitous. Jimmy's header is probably going wide, probably. Comes off Sykes. 1-1. It's just who then can find something in the last few minutes. No one could. Now you go to penalties to see who goes into the next round. So all the research will be done, all the planning will be done. Goalkeepers will be well briefed on who probably will take. Sometimes it's hard when you made loads of subs, you know, because I'm sure some of the lads who've gone off would have been penalty takers if this game was further into the season and they stay on. But all ifs, buts and maybes. But yeah, come on, let's get it won.
So we'll see you very shortly. Stay tuned, because next up here at Loftus Road, it is a penalty shootout. So welcome back, and it's all come down to this penalty shootout here, and it will be taken in front of the travelling Millwall fans. It looks as if it's also Millwall who will take first. What goes through your mind, since in these kind of situations you've been here before?
Well, you've got to be brave. You know, there'll be 5 boys have stuck their hand up. You'll have your chosen technique and what you're going to do. Goalkeepers can become a hero. You know, no pressure on them. But yeah, as a player, you just make your mind up, you stick to it, you trust your technique, you be really positive. That's all you can do. Yeah, I've been here a couple of times throughout my career. Cooper, Millwall captain, first one to step up. Left foot.
Up against Pearce Charles. Up he steps and he sends Charles the wrong way, and he scores the first penalty for Millwall. Going to that bottom left corner, opening his body up and finding the back of the net. And it's Elias Chair who will strike first for Rangers.
Yeah, makes the walk. That's probably the hardest part, Tyler, having someone who's done it, that walk from there to there. They got to block everything out.
Chair stepping up here for Rangers. Up against Jensen. The slow run-up from Elias Chair, and it is saved by Jensen.
It's a stuttery run-up, and it strikes it well enough, but it's at a really comfortable height for the keeper. Little stutter, just the right height and the preferred height for a goalkeeper.
So next up is Sykes for Millwall, taking on Charles. This time a short run-up from the number 17. Sykes sending Charles the wrong way and scoring for Millwall. This time going the other way and finding the right top corner.
Well, calm slots. Harvey Vale, you're always under pressure as a kicker, but he's under pressure now. Real pressure. Having missed our first, and they converted the first two. Come on, Harvey.
Up against Jensen here. Harvey Vale, it's saved by Jensen again.
And again, it's a well-struck penalty, but what I will say, it's at a comfortable height for the goalkeeper. 3 or 4 foot off the ground. Anything low, it's harder. You either got to go low or you got to go really high.
So a big advantage for Millwall, particularly if they score this next penalty. Negley stepping up against Charles. Left-footed from the number 10. Charles saves. There's
Good save.
another potential turn.
Stuttery run-up. Now they're waiting for the goalkeeper. The trouble is when you make a stuttery run-up and the keeper waits and he puts the onus back on you, you've almost got nowhere to go. So well done, Pearce.
Kirky Saito to take for Rangers. The third penalty for the R's. Up steps the number 14. And Jensen saves it again. So now it's big advantage here for Millwall, who are one kick away.
Well, goalkeeper's made 3 saves, Jensen.
Conte to step up now for Millwall. And Pierce Charles is another great reach.
That's a great save. Again, comfortable eye for him, but that is a fantastic save because he strikes it, and I think that's quite close to the post, so in the corner. So wonderful save. Just comfortable eye.
Poku now for Rangers. Still does have to score. Here he goes, and he's saved by Jensen again, and Millwall do win the cup tie. A poor penalty showing from a Rangers point of view, and that will end the Carabao Cup for this season. Jensen the hero for them, but after it was 1-1 in 90 minutes, Millwall win the penalty shootout 2-0 and go to the second round of the cup. Since, sum up, how are you feeling right now?
Well, just disappointed, not disappointed, well, disappointed that we've lost on the penalties, but listen, anyone can lose a penalty shootout, and credit to every single guy, including the Millwall guys who put themselves up and step up and take. But from 8 penalties, was it? 2 scored, we haven't scored 1. You know, that will be disappointing because we've got some good technical players in our team. So anyway, lost the game. And I say we lost the game, Peter, so you didn't lose the game, we lost the tie. So we dust ourselves down. That'll be a little bit disappointment. We haven't progressed, but I've been saying all pre-season we start for real, and when I meant we start for real, I mean next week. That's when we start for real. This is a big competition, massive competition, but for me, you plan all pre-season for your opening league game in the season. We go down to Portsmouth, yeah, it'll be a tough one, yeah, they're be backed by a big following, we'll take a load down there. It's always a tight ground, tough place to go, but we got to be ready for that, and I really look forward to it. So disappointment, we give Millwall the credit, well done, whoever they get in the next round. Their goalkeeper will get all the headlines, 4 saves. It's gone against us today, but we dust ourselves down and we go next week. Can't wait.
And we'll see you for the big league opener down at Portsmouth, but for now it is defeats in the Carabao Cup.